going to talk on a very important topic: effective classroom strategies. A teacher inside a classroom, he is the boss, he is the king, he is the queen. What things he has to do and what strategies he has to adopt, Janab M. Kafeel Ahmed Sahab will be explaining to us. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Kafeel. Kafeel bhai?
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes. Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum to all of you.
Wa alaikum salam.
With the PowerPoint presentation.
You have been made co-host. Host bana di.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me this opportunity. And then I thank Omid for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences with the teachers who are present here. I thank Salim Bhai for selecting me. Is the slide visible to all of you?
Yes, yes,
Salim
sir.
Bhai?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This topic, effective classroom strategies. This topic, I feel like it's more important as we face so many challenges once we go inside the classroom. Out of experience of many years, I have gathered some of the points that I would like to share with you. Inshallah, I hope that these points will help you become a better teacher as time goes. Before entering into the main content, let us warm up. Tell me, participants, please tell me which black line is longer. I've given you an image. There are two black lines you can see. Tell me which black line is longer. You have got 30 seconds. Yes, you can comment in the chat box or you can open your audio.
The line which is close to the edge.
The line which is close to the edge is longer. Very good.
Yes.
Next, any other? Second line, okay, good. Yes, yes. You have 15 more seconds.
I think both are same.
So who says this one? Who says both are same?
Me, Afrin. Because
Okay.
here नजदीक जो है उसका डिस्टेंस वो लाइंस में थोड़ा कम कम है. यहाँ पे
Great.
ब्रॉड है. जो
You're
दूर
fully
है
awake.
वो
You are fully awake. Thank you. Ma'am has rightly pointed out that both lines are same. It is because of the background image which is giving a sense that one of the line is longer than the other. It is because of the perspective with which we compare. We compare with the background information. To perceive an information, what we humans do is we compare one information with another information and conclude a result. So this is what happening. It may appear, the two lines may appear larger and smaller, but actually, as ma'am has pointed out, because of the perspective, the background image, one line is looking larger. Okay. But I have actually given this activity for teaching point of view. And I have done a mistake here. If you have realized, I mean, when I asked you which line is longer, and you wanted to reply, but you might have felt a difficulty into how to tell which line is larger. There is no marking given, there is no A or B is given. How to tell? Some may say, sir, right side line is larger, left side line is larger, sir, this line is larger, that line is larger. All this confusion will arise. I'll go to the next slide. Now look at this slide. Now I have asked the right question. Which black line is longer, A or B? This slide is actually
Your
a depiction of how to ask a right question to the students, how to expect them to answer in the right question, in the right way. Before expecting
Rabbi
answer
Miss,
from the student, we need to
Yes,
ask
sir.
right questions. Hello? We need to ask right questions. So if you are not defining the question properly, if you are not making them clear what you are expecting, then there may be many answers coming from students, and you may be getting angry that why they are not answering properly. It is not because the students are wrong right now. It is because we have not asked the right question in the right way. Okay, after this warm-up activity, we will move to the objectives of this session. Inshallah, I'll try my best to highlight the following points which are appearing on your screen. We will discuss about positive intentions, empathy, preparation, effective lesson plan, well-planned activities, guided practices, reward. Actually, the spelling of the reward is wrong. I'm sorry for that. Reward and consequence. Consequence, I have mentioned in bracket as punishment. Actually, previously we used to say punishment, reward and punishment. But nowadays, a very better, polite way, polite word, consequence is being used right now. My dear teachers, for we to be a good teacher, imagine you are standing outside the class. Now you are about to enter into the class. You have got all the preparations ready. You have got your lesson plan. You have got all the resources and all the materials to teach the lesson. Before all, the most important thing a teacher needs to have is the positive intention. What I mean by positive intention is when you are expecting, because you are familiar with your class, you go to the class every day and you are familiar with the class, the people, the students of the class. You may be having this problem, okay, this student is having this problem, that student is having this problem. I'll go to the slide. Look at this slide. You may be having these students are problematic. I mean, the students are problematic. They don't know math, they don't know English, they don't know this, they are troublesome. Having this in mind, if you enter into class, that class will be a burden for you, a great burden for you, not only to handle the class, but to expect good results from the students is also difficult. Now, if you just switch your thought, it is just a mind's play. Switch your thought to this kind of statement. where you say, I will help my student, they need my help. Instead of telling they are problematic because they don't know that is why they are problematic. If we have this intention, okay, they are problematic, but I'm here to help them. So this change in intention suddenly makes you strong, suddenly makes you effective teacher. I will go back to the slide where we started with the objectives. Positive intentions are very important. And then what we need is empathy. Then we will see what is, before entering into the class, what preparations we need to do. Then effective lesson plans, well-planned activities, guided practice, reward and punishment. That is consequence of the an action. As I mentioned earlier, the foundation of a best teacher or a lesson delivery is empathy and good intentions. When students feel understood and supported, they are more willing to take risks, ask questions, and engage deeply with learning. So telling that I will help my students, they need my help, is the way we express our empathy. Empathy is the ability to imagine how another person, or in this case, how my student is feeling. It is informally said that putting yourself in the shoes of the person you are feeling. To develop empathy, listen actively to student concerns. We need to be close to our students. We need to listen to our students. It will make a very strong bond between the teacher and the students. Once there is a strong bond between the students and teacher, learning takes place. Because learning takes place only in a very healthy, friendly atmosphere. If the atmosphere of the class is threatening, if the students are not feeling safe, then it disrupts learning. Some of the teachers may be feeling, sir, nowadays the situation is completely upside down, sir. Teachers are feeling not safe inside the classroom, maybe, but this is not a scenario for everyday classroom. Acknowledge different learning paces. Every student is unique, and every student learns in his or her own pace. We need to respect that. We can't expect them to learn fast. We need to go to the speed and level of the students to teach them. Show genuine interest in their lives. So when we show genuine interest in their lives, they get attracted towards you, and once they trust you, they start learning better. Now, let us imagine that you are empathetic right now. Now you have understood that empathy is the key to an effective class. So what is required is the preparation for the class. We need to prepare effectively for the class. When we say preparation, what do we mean is what subject you are handling. In that subject, you must be a master. At least the lesson that you are now about to take, the lesson you are about to deliver, you must be very clear about every single concept of the lesson. Know your subject inside and out. Anticipate student questions and prepare clear explanations or complex concepts. Now, you are good with the content. Gather the resources that are required for taking an effective class. Resources here means right from your pen, paper, to the materials required to complete the activities. It can be right from the matchstick to the ice cream stick, A4 sheet paper, charts, color papers. It can be anything. It can be a device. It can be a functioning motor. It can be any X, Y, and Z. So prepare, you need to have that resource with you. And you need to have the clear time schedule with which you are going to complete one task. And how will you craft a very effective lesson plan? Since lesson plan is the way, the guiding light which we plan beforehand, which helps us carry our task in the classroom, we need to have the best lesson plan possible. So the lesson plan is a completely a new topic for discussion. It requires actually a long time to clearly understand the different aspects of the lesson plan and how to make the best lesson plan. I have one single slide here for you to look. But every lesson plan must be having a clear learning objectives and engaging activities. Like engaging activities can be a story, can be your story, can be somebody else's story, can be an activity, can be a small puzzle. What does all these things do is they bring the students from different mindsets to one mindset. Different imaginations, they will bring you their focus and they'll put their focus on you. Then we need to have structured activities, assessment plans. Some of the teaching aids are very important. As teachers, we all know that focus of the students are at its peak when we present an activity or a teaching aid. When you bring a teaching aid, you can see the joy in the students' face because they expect something new, they expect something different every day. And as teachers, we are the one to bring those different experiences to the students. Maybe the same material may be available in the market. Maybe the same material will be available somewhere in the internet. But students don't go and search all those things. They don't know how to use different things. I give this example. An activity designed by a teacher uses the same normally available components, normally available things which are available for everybody in their nearby shops, but they cannot use it in the effective way as teachers can use. I give this example that the invention of the wheel has taken place somewhere near 6,000 years back. It is regarded as the first invention of human. But you know, people who were traveling in the trains and buses some 50, 60 years before, carrying huge bags. They had no wheels in their bags. Today we have wheels in our bags, in our luggages. The bags and luggages are designed in a way which has wheels fitted. But imagine 50, 60 years back, we were carrying all the luggages on our shoulders, heads. We'll be dragging those bags, heavy bags. But when we were dragging those heavy bags, nobody thought, why can't we fix a small wheel in the bags? We never thought this. And many people, every day, thousands of people may be traveling in the trains. And the train had so many wheels. But even then, nobody had this sparkling, thought in his mind, why can't we fix a small wheel in the bags? Somehow somebody got this thought and he invented a bag with wheels. But if we look back, wheels have been invented 6,000 years back, and wheels are being used all along these 6,000 years in so many places. But the idea to connect a bag with the wheel didn't come. It came only when somebody genuine thought about this problem. So inventing something and being an innovative teacher with small things, it can only be possible by the teachers only. They use small things and make great activities, great projects. And we have this trend known as best out of waste. All these things came from teachers only. Teaching aids are very important because visual tools like charts and diagrams and interactive displays. I'm really sorry for the voice, maybe interrupting you. I'm really sorry for that. Then we need manipulatives like physical objects. Physical object here means hands-on materials with which we perform activities. We also need the help of technology. Digital tools and apps provide interactive experiences and accommodate diverse learning preferences. I think last week our teacher has taken some of the technology-based applications available for teachers. I have a few more slides to show you. Capturing and maintaining student focus is very important and key to the effective class. How will you do that? Don't go in a monotonous way. Just one kind of class, like lecturing throughout the class or having only one activity in the class will not engage students enough. So we need to plan our lessons in such a way that we need to mix lectures, and in between the lectures we should ask questions to the students. By asking questions, the students get alert. Okay, the teacher is asking question. So the question can be asked to any students because questions are asked randomly to the students. So every students think that, okay, the next question may be asked to me. So every student gets alert. Even the naughtiest students who make trouble in the class, when questions are asked to the students, they stop behaving naughtily, they start behaving politely. Discussing different aspects of the topic in the class with the students is one of the effective way because their involvement takes place. Once the student starts to involve, they don't become a troublemaker, they become a good learner. Hands-on activities are the best thing to engage students. So if you have even small papers, with the help of papers, you can make activities and engage students. Also, keep in your, most of the teachers keep something known as surprise box. When there is an activity given to an individual student or a group of students, and students are anticipating whose name comes up, whose name sir or ma'am is going to select. Instead of randomly picking the students, randomly choosing the students, have a box, have a plastic jar or something, where students' names are written in the form of chits and put inside the jar, and pick any one of the jar, any one of the chit. And then every student gets anticipated, like they are like surprised, okay, whose name is going to come up. So all these things are small strategies to engage the students, keep their focus intact. Now let us ask a question. How do you handle disruptive behavior in the classroom? Imagine a situation where the students are not listening to the teacher, or the teacher is entering, already the class is cluttered, every students are here and there. How will you bring the class to order? One way is just start counting down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This strategy helps every time. Every time. This counting down strategy helps every time. You can use the following strategies as mentioned here. Address the behavior promptly but privately whenever possible. If you look at a student who is misbehaving in the class, you can, at the same time, you can face that situation, ask the students to be polite, or you can personally call the student after the end of the class. You note down the student who has made the problem. At the end of the class, ask the students to come out and counsel the student politely. This helps in this is what is known as introspection. Students start to realize their mistake, because it is not necessary that the one who is making problem is aware of the problem that he is making. Most of the time, they are not aware. They are doing it by compulsion, but they are not aware of it. But when you counsel the students, what happens is they start to realize their mistake. Once they start to realize, they start to slow down. They start to stop to they start to avoid doing the mistake again. But here there is a problem. Only one time or one day you are counseling, or you are leaving, you can't expect them to behave properly again. It is a continuous process. You need to talk to them again and again. When we are dealing this situation, we are supposed to be non-confrontational. What does it mean by confrontation? Confrontation means you are taking something personally. You are taking it personally and you are fighting as if it's your fight. Don't do this. Don't start like fighting with the students. Don't enter into that mood. Remember, in the beginning, we have this positive intention. We know that every student needs your help. You are above all the students. So you're like father or like your mother. So a father or mother does not start fighting with the child. They start to understand the problem with the child. They show utmost empathy with the child. This is what we have to do. But it is difficult. It may be difficult in the beginning, but as you practice, it becomes easy. Sir, can I take 5 more minutes? Salim sir, I'll take 5 more minutes.
Sir, simply, sir, yes, yes, a little.
Okay. Thank you. Now, Focus on understanding the underlying reason of the problem. Work collaboratively with the students to find solutions. Redirection is another way. Redirection is you direct the students from the problematic situation to the situation which you want them to be. Positive reinforcements. There are so many ways we can positively reinforce a particular behavior in the students. Reinforcement is what, like, we select a positive behavior of the students, like asking questions. While asking questions, raise your hands. This is one behavior we expect students to perform. So when one of the student is doing it in the class, we need to show, positive reinforcement. We need to tell that this behavior is very important. Show that this behavior is very important to the class. So praise that behavior. So we start praising those behaviors which are important, which are good. Just by praising those behaviors, whenever the student is showing a particular behavior, like rising up and asking questions, so give them these positive strokes, like great job, best, keep it up. All these things help the student, not only that student, but all the students, that, okay, this particular behavior is what is expected. What gets me this rewards, these positive strokes. Let me tell you one important thing. In our psychology, deep within all what we do as humans, the purpose of doing is to get a reward, to get appraisals, to get recognition. So every student, when this very basic emotion of receiving the recognition is triggered by positive reinforcement, then students start to repeat that behavior to receive the reward. Repeat this, they know that, okay, by repeating this, I get this reward. So once they understand this, every student starts to fall in line. But there may be different, like students taking different time. Some may be taking long time to understand this. Some may be taking short time to understand this. But you keep trying it, sooner or later, everybody will fall in line. Motivate students, use verbal praise, as mentioned here. Okay, as I mentioned, positive reinforcement or reward is very important. Just tell them, great job, good. All these things are very important. And when we should, when we should give the positive reinforcement, we should give positive reinforcement immediately when the behavior is seen in the student. When you see a good behavior in the student, immediately give the reward to the students. This makes the stimulus response bond strong. Maybe those who have studied B.Ed, they may know the stimulus response bond. So this stimulus response bond starts to get stronger. If you delay it, that bond gets weaker. So a delayed gratification, a delayed positive reinforcement may not be that effective as immediate. Now, balancing rewards and consequences. Consequences are not just punishments. Punishment here doesn't mean corporal punishment. Corporal punishments must be avoided for so many reasons. Here, positive reinforcement, the negative reinforcement, that is the consequences, just making the students stand up in their places, cornering them, not looking at them, just not looking at them plays a very important role. They feel that the teacher is not liking them. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a situation where somebody is not liking it. Somebody in authority is not liking. So immediately the student, for few seconds, they may be continuing the behavior, but inside they know that this is not good. They immediately fall in line. And as every time, there is a time gap. Some students may fall in line faster. Some students may fall in line little slower. And one more important point, guided practice, especially for language teachers, those who are teaching listening, speaking, reading, writing skills, guided practice is the most important. Guided practice is a practice where we tell the students to practice a particular letter. Say, for example, it's a writing practice. You're teaching a beginner like KG students or in the primary schools, first standard, second standard students. You're giving them writing practice. To writing practice, the students are not writing it properly. No, you have to guide the students at this point where they are making mistake. For example, they are not writing the G properly. They are not taking a proper circle. Then at the time where they are making mistake, at that exact time, we need to tell them that at this point, you have to take the stroke to the left or to the right. You have to take this kind of stroke. What we usually do, we give a letter, we write the letter. Say, for example, G or A or M. Ask the students to copy down. They copy down in their own way, in their own pace. They look at it and they copy. This does not help most effectively. What helps is look at them, ask them to write the letter and exactly where they are making the mistake. Ask them to correct in the right way. So this guided practice has helped many students to improve their handwriting. In my experience, I have seen so many students. I have helped students to uh, quickly come out of the writing mistakes that they do. And this guided practice is so helpful that it consumes very less time. Very quickly, you can change the course of the course and direction of the students' learning. Now we are at the end of the presentation. Let me quickly summarize. We started with good intentions. We need to, I told you that intentions are very important from the hadith point of view, from the moral point of view. Intentions are very important. Then we have seen empathy. Then we have seen different practices, good practices. If you have any question, please ask. Otherwise, we can conclude. Salim bhai?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Very excellent presentation, sir. Very effectively you have presented the ideas. And many teachers, nearly 45 are here. They are benefited by this. And they will take this message to their classroom. Effectively, you are told with what intention we have to enter the class with positive intentions. And you are telling how we have to have in our mind that we are going to help the students learn, not to quarrel with them, not to have problems with them, but with the intention of helping, we have to enter the class. Very fine thing you are told. And entering his class with all materials, with the teaching aids and all, and innovative use of teaching aids, you told. Simple and teaching aids will be there in the school or in the classroom, but innovatively we can put them into use. And the use of wheel, you have given example, excellent example. Wheel known for many centuries, but recently only it has been added to our luggage bags. So excellent example you have given. And you have given how to handle disturbing students.